Yes, I am back. Hey guys, I am Nick, and yes, I know it's been a while. I will let you guys know what's been happening in a sec, but for those of you who joined this channel in the last 4 months, and you probably haven't seen my face, you might have seen the older videos, so you might know who I am, but my name is Nick. I run this channel, I own this channel, I make all of the cupcakes, cakes, and macarons that you see on this channel. So if you're joining us for the first time, thank you and welcome. So let's get stuck into it. So maybe what I might do is just quickly tell you guys what I've been up to, like a couple of the things, and then if you want to see like a longer explanation of what's been happening, let me know in the comments down below. I've been working on something, I'm about to do what a lot of YouTubers do, which is say to you guys, I've been working on something, but I can't tell you what it is yet, because I have been working on something, but I can't tell you what is that? Did you guys do that? You did that in my office. Okay, I had to fire someone, but anyway, back to it. I've been working on something special. I'll announce it soon, and I'm super excited for you guys to see it. But what else? Okay, so the reason I went away is because it's actually a couple of reasons, but the very first thing was I got really sick. It was a long time ago. I'm well and truly recovered, and you guys were so lovely and amazing about it. I started uploading videos without voiceovers, without intros, and you guys were supportive. And then I thought, you know, I'm gonna keep taking a break. I think that this break is good for me for a couple reasons. One of them being that online bullying was becoming an issue for me, and negativity was becoming an issue for me in the comment section on YouTube, Instagram especially. And I just felt like it was time to take a break. There are a couple other things happening, and I feel great now, guys. I'm ready, I'm back. Let's get stuck into this recipe. So these are some macarons. So these are the final thing that I need to make on my Cherry Cherry Boom Boom series. So I've made a cake and I've made cupcakes. These are the macarons. So they're inspired by a Lady Gaga song, and basically they're just very red and delicious and cherry. So for those of you who love cherries, you're gonna love these macarons. Let's get stuck into the recipe. Okay guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to make our macarons. So we're gonna pop our almond meal and powdered sugar into a food processor. You wanna blitz that up, maybe about 3 or 4 times. Don't overdo it, because then you can risk kind of releasing the oils from the almonds, and you don't wanna do that. Now, to that, we're also gonna add some cocoa powder, because that's gonna help us get that dark red color in our macarons. And once it's nice and combined, we're gonna pop it into a large mixing bowl. We're gonna add our first batch of egg whites. Now guys, I've changed the macaron recipe. I've halved it, okay? Because it was making too many macarons. Some of you were like, Nick, I don't know what to do with these macarons. So I'm like, okay, I halved it for you guys. The older recipes are still the original, not halved. Newer recipes will be halved from now on. And I'm still not offering these in cup measurements. It just won't work. So if you want to make these macarons, you're going to need to get a pair of kitchen scales. So you got your egg whites in there, you want to give it a mix, and once it comes to kind of like a paste consistency, you want to set it aside, just cover it with some plastic wrap and set it aside. Now moving on to our meringue. So I'm going to be making an Italian meringue. So that's the Italian meringue method that I use for these recipes. I just find it's a little bit more stable. The French method, you don't need to make it a syrup. It's a little bit easier, but this method, you get more consistent results. So to begin with, we are gonna make the syrup. We're gonna add our water and our sugar into a small saucepan, and you wanna give it a little bit of a stir to kind of help it. Don't stir it too much, otherwise you risk it kind of like crystallizing, and trust me, you'll know when it's crystallized, because it turns into one big sugar lump, crystal lump. And that's happened to me before. I just run out to the garden, throw it in the garden, and then start again. So what you want to do is you want to let it come to a gentle boil. Now for this recipe, we're going to need a candy thermometer. They're really cheap, they're not expensive. Hop down to your local cake supply store, hop online, they're really not expensive. So grab one of those, they're going to help you a lot for this recipe. So the temperature we're looking for is 115 degrees Celsius. When we reach that temperature, We want to put our second batch of egg whites into a stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer for this. We're going to pop them on medium speed, get them nice and frothy. Then when we reach 118 degrees Celsius, we're going to very slowly, in a thin and steady stream, pour that very hot syrup into your egg whites while the mixer is on high speed. Now, once you've got all of your syrup in there, you want to let it continue mixing. Now, the thing you're looking for is a nice, thick, glossy meringue, and it'll have cooled down slightly. It'll be a little bit warm still, but you're probably going to mix it for about 3 minutes before you add your vanilla extract or some cherry brandy flavoring. I would stay away from using the alcohol in the meringue, otherwise it can cause it to deflate. So just use cherry brandy flavoring. If you can't find that, you can just use, just vanilla is fine. We're gonna get that gorgeous cherry flavoring from the cherries anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now, after you've added your flavoring, you wanna add some red food gel in there. Now, it's a red macaron, guys. It needs a lot of red food gel. I'm not asking you guys to eat these every day, so everybody chill. It'll be fine, you'll be okay. So you wanna add that in there. Now, because we're adding food color in there, we wanna make sure that everything colors evenly. So you wanna grab your spatula, stop your mixer of course, grab the spatula, scrape down the bowl really, really well, and then keep on mixing for another 3 or 4 minutes. You'll know it's done because it's nice and thick and glossy and it holds its shape. Now we're gonna add a spatula full of that meringue into our almond mixture from earlier on. We're gonna mix that. Don't be too worried at this stage about over mixing the mixture. It's okay. What you're aiming to do is really mix that meringue in well, and doing just one spatula at this stage means that you're thinning out that very thick almond mixture, and then it'll make mixing the rest of the meringue in much easier. So once you've done that, add the rest of the meringue, you can add the rest of it all at once. You want to use your spatula, just go around the bowl and through the middle. Continue doing that until you reach the ribbon stage. So the ribbon stage is basically when your mixture falls off your spatula, kind of like a ribbon back into the bowl. And after about 10 seconds, if it disappears, then you know it's time to stop mixing. Now, I have got some baking trays here. I'm gonna line it with some Silpat baking mats. These are silicone baking mats that I'm using. If you don't have these, you can just use baking paper, it's fine. Now, these macarons are quite big because we've got the cherries going on them, so I needed to make them big. Now, if you don't like things that are too sweet, share it with a friend. We're aiming to pipe them about 5 centimeters in width. Once you've piped all of your macarons, you want to gently tap the tray 3 times, and that's going to allow any of the air bubbles in the mixture to come out to the top so that our macarons rise beautifully. You want to sprinkle some red caviar sprinkles on top of these before you let them dry for about 30 minutes. Once they've dried, pop them into the oven on, I think it's 140 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. Now, if you're finding that they're rising weirdly or they're burning on one side, which they shouldn't burn, but they might brown a little bit, then just turn the tray around about halfway and they should be good. Now, once these have baked, you want to let them cool down completely. I don't want any emails, hey Nick, my macarons are stuck to the tray. It's probably because they're still warm. I find that even baking them the day before and then decorating them the next day works really well as well. They come off the tray much easier. If you find they're really, really soft, then leave them in the oven a little bit longer, maybe about 3 or 4 minutes longer. Now let's move on to the frosting. So I've got some of my Swiss meringue buttercream frosting here. You can grab the recipe for that on my website. So to that, we're gonna add a little bit of cocoa powder and red food gel. You wanna give that a good mix until everything is evenly combined or well colored, evenly colored. You wanna make sure it's evenly colored. Once that is evenly colored, you wanna pop it into a piping bag fitted with a large round tip, and you're gonna frost a tall-ish blob on one macaron. You're gonna stick your maraschino cherries around that frosting, and you're gonna sandwich it with another macaron. And guys, those are my Cherry Boom Boom macarons. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, show me some love. It's been a while since I've been back, and I know I'm gonna be hit with low views. People are gonna unsubscribe. Make me feel better by hitting the like button. Thank you so much, first of all, guys, for letting me have a break. I've been looking after my mental health. I've been looking after my physical health. during the break, and I feel great. I'm ready to be back. I'm happy to be back. I hope you guys are happy for me to be back. If you're not subscribed and you're watching this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you all on the next episode of the Scran Lab. Cocoa powder and red food gel. Give it a good...